So
Yeah.
this is way above what most people think about when they think about a BDC. Well, you get the lead, you call it, you set an appointment, right? No, it's not that easy. I wish it were. Or you take a call and you set an appointment. No, sometimes you have to call them back or they call you back. Or sometimes you go back and forth 10 times. Like I can tell a dealer very soon.
What? 10 times? They don't just say but on the first call.
Exactly. That's what everyone thinks. And so eventually I'll be able to have reporting that says, here's how many touch points we have with each customer on average.
Yeah.
This is how many times we make outbound calls. And this is the sweet spot, and I already know day one, if you call it fast enough, you're going to reach the customer. Day two, you get less of a response. Day three, you get a little less of a response. I've had dealers that tell me, I want you to call my customer 3 times a day for 3 days in a row. And I'm like, okay, but that's kind of like almost borderline harassment,
Exactly.
No, but I mean, if that's what you want us to do, I mean, we can charge you for that, I guess, but I don't recommend it. Because if I'm calling you within 5 minutes of you submitting the lead and you don't pick up, I'll bet you the data. I don't know, so I'm excited to learn myself. But I bet you the data eventually says to me, if you don't reach the person if calling it in 10 minutes, it doesn't matter if you call it 10 times, 10 days in a row, they're never going to pick up.
Yeah,
because they didn't want a phone call. And how many of those that don't pick up on the phone email back and forth? Because remember I said we call 10 times some customers we might email back and forth 20 times or text back and forth 30 times before we actually get an appointment. So like all that work is what makes a sales BDC very complicated and complex. The service BDC is much easier. You're calling me, I schedule an appointment or not, right? And then I go on to the next call.
But very interesting that you have all of this data, and you have lots of data that's actually created by humans interacting with other humans. And it's Thomas.
It's all trapped in there that nobody can see. That's what I told Thomas.
And your Thomas is your CTO for the audience that is not like putting it all together. So Thomas is the first person I heard, I don't know if he came up with it, but the term robot food. Meaning what we're feeding the AI systems, which I've used that. I've totally stolen it from him, but I always...
So that's the name of... That's most likely going to be the name of our new company.
Robot food. Love it. So robot food, when he said that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Well, everything that you guys are doing, and if, dealers, anybody that's watching this, the customer communications that are happening from a business development center, all this interaction, when you have all of this data and you can use that data, conversational data and all that stuff, and put that into an AI engine that's your robot to make it smarter. Yeah, exactly. The whole can an AI system interact with the human in a more natural way than an automation system? That's why, and you've alluded to it, and I think it's always a sign of how much of a professional you are that you don't just drag somebody through the mud. So we're not naming names, but there have been some things available to dealers that have been using that are really very intricate and fancy automation, right? That yes, somebody could go into most of.
We're eating our own robot food.
Yeah. Whereas in your case, I think AI gets better and better and better based on how you guys are using data, taking that data, putting that robot food into the system. So again, the difference between AI, and it will continue to get better and better, making humans feel this natural discussion, which hasn't felt that way thus far. Automation will never, ever, ever be able to do that. And I think the separation between really great artificial intelligence, I think it's going to be the great creative thinking and expertise of the humans that train the system to, now it's a tool, this is how it works for us, versus it'll get to a point where automation can't even compete. So it's just going to have to be simple task scheduling stuff for that, and everything else is going to be AI based on companies like yours that take the robot food to the next level.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what critical thinking comes in, Sean. Talking to my wife last night, her lease is up in June. And I told her, I know what she wants to buy. And I'm like, what color combination do you want? And she's like, I'm not sure. I like this, but I don't like that. Maybe this. I may need to see it. And it's like, well, but I'm saying, like, there's a conversation there that requires her thought. Now, a computer can't think for her.
Yeah.
It can't answer a question for her. And so a salesperson needs to be able to ingest that. And there's so many different conversations that are going on.